Hi, welcome to Yellow Slate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters.
Today we have with us Miss Kusuma, who works as a math educator at Vishwa Vidyapeeth Vikramashila, which is located in Bangalore. To get to know more details about the school, let's have a conversation with her. Hi, ma'am.
Namaste, Vihari.
To begin with, what makes the school stand out compared to other schools in Bangalore?
So the main thing with Vishwa Vidyapeeth is how the beautiful blend of Indian culture and Indian tradition with global curriculum in place. So how we are providing international education while we are inculcating the Indian values into the students while they're learning Sanskrit. We have a Bhagavad Gita class happening. We have communicative Sanskrit happening. All these are not a part of curriculum, IG curriculum, Cambridge curriculum, but still it's our duty that students get to learn, get to know Indian values, Indian culture. This is one special thing I don't think any school could provide, that students get to know about international education. They learn international education with Indian culture and tradition.
Got it, ma'am. So, what makes teaching math in Vishwa Vidyapeeth different compared to other schools?
It's mostly the hands-on experience what students go through. So whatever they're learning, the students are learning, it's all they are doing it rather than we as educators teaching. We are not teaching as such. We are educators. We are just mentoring them. We are just monitoring them while they are doing the experiments, while they are learning, while they are exploring themselves in the concepts, whatever they are learning. We have a math lab well equipped with hands-on materials. So suppose I'm teaching prime numbers to primary or trigonometry or probability. Everything is doing experiments and learning, not like they are reading any definition and they are solving a problem. They are actually going through the experiment and finding the data and they're solving it.
Can you be a little more elaborate and explain any particular example how this experiment goes on, ma'am?
If suppose we are talking about primary, if we are considering something like factors, prime numbers, one of the examples would be I'm dividing the class into group of children. Suppose we are dividing it into 4 groups, each group containing 4 students. First, we will have rounds. So the first round would be like I'll start the timer. I'll ask the students to note down at least 150 numbers, like as soon as I start the timer. So now the students run. Now there's a physical activity. The students run. They want to finish as many numbers as possible. So they start writing, they write the numbers, and then I stop the timer, they come back. The second round, suppose I'm asking them, now of these numbers, you've learned the factors, write the factors of these numbers. Now the condition is, now it's not the same group which they have written the chart. On the chart, they've written the numbers. It's not in the same group. They'll shuffle. There is a shuffle of group. So they go and write the factors in a different chart. So after that is done, that second round is done. Now the third round. What do you find is unique in each chart? The other, again, there is a shuffle and students go find out what is unique. So while in the third round, they realize that there is something different in each chart. There is something they are finding unique. There are factors which are alike. There are few numbers which has more than 2 factors. There are few numbers which has only 2 factors, like the number and itself. Then the fourth round would be they having an open-end discussion and they coming out with what is unique in them, and they have a discussion to tell me what is it about. So then we give it a name called, these numbers where you found out there is one and itself. The factor which is one and itself is a prime number, the rest are composite numbers. So here, whatever has happened is students have given us an idea about what is a prime number. We just give it a name. Okay, this what you just found out is called a prime number. This, the remaining numbers what you found is called a composite number. We just introduce them to the name. What is a prime? What is a composite? How did they explore the concept? It's by them doing it. So it is more of learning by doing than learning like we writing the on the board. It doesn't happen. So they are exploring it.
Got it, ma'am. So, can you also share a success story of a student who joined in the school choosing Cambridge curriculum and later, because of teaching styles of the faculty, have seen a significant difference in the learning growth?
So there are quite a few numbers we can say, but one example if I can tell is there was a student, very first class of the academic year, we start by asking them about their interest in math, how good they are in math. While they're introducing themselves, they always talk about how is math to them. Are they scared of math? Is that fear still there? Are they like very good in math? So during this introduction phase of the first class, they open up. So that is our connect with the students. That is when we get to know about the students. So while we are doing that rounds of knowing each other, they get to know, there was one student who told me and the class that there is a fear of, there is kind of to a level of phobia. It was to that extent. So so gradually we worked on it. We were doing, it's mostly hands-on experiments. So they are very engaged in group activities. So while the classes were going on, they were engaged. I could see the involvement of the student per se. Level by level, the confidence increased. Now the student is presenting a paper in an international conference which is happening in January. So we are even we are teachers and the students, we have certain 4 to 5 students who are presenting their papers. So a student 2 years ago who told there is fear of math, now they're presenting in an international math conference. That's a great achievement for the student, also for us also.
It's a great story to know, ma'am. So going to our next question. As you teach math for higher grades, so
Yes.
how important it is to make them be ready for the competitive exams, especially where we have this quant aptitude. So how do you make sure that along with the subject, even these are being taught?
So as we know that now the competition is so high, especially if we are going after 12, the competitive exams they are facing, be it JEE, NEET or any competitive exam CEs, it's so important for them to have their aptitude intact. They should be very fast in their calculations. So one of the aspects, keeping this into consideration, one of the strategies we have started, I can say, is starting mental math. At the start of every class, the first 5 to 10 minutes would be mental math questioning, where we question every class. So, right from grade 1 to grade 10. So, every class we start with mental math questioning. Like it could be like if it is for lower grades, it is mostly times table we are asking, like what is 12 into 5 and all such. Slowly, we gradually increase the level. When it is coming to, if we are considering lower secondary, it is mostly like LCM, HCF, of which is minute calculations which they can do by their mind. So then coming to high school, it will be LCM and HCF and mental math, all which will be related to mostly aptitude questions only. So first 5 to 10 minutes of every class is for this mental math calculations and aptitude.
Ma'am, can you also talk about the approach that you follow or the teaching style that you follow to teach mathematics, particularly in this IGCSE curriculum?
After attending numerous Cambridge workshops and seminars and going through the process of training and professional development in the school and outside school through Cambridge only, it's more of we are implementing experiments, hands-on activities, students doing the activities. Every concept we teach, it is mostly divided into group activities or open-ended questions. If it is a group activity, we will divide the students into set of groups and then we assign them. We have something called a station activity. Now, suppose if I'm talking about trigonometry, a question in trigonometry can be solved in different methods, or one particular topic of trigonometry can have different stations, like different topics it can be divided into. So we have like suppose 6 to 7 stations on one particular topic. Each station deals about different topics of trigonometry inbuilt in that. So if there are 4 students working on station 1, while the students working on station 1, while they're working on it, there is another set of students who are working on station 2, 3, 4 simultaneously. Once the students are done with station 1, they proceed to station 2 in cyclic order. So that all students complete all the stations, so that they get to know every topic in a span of 2 periods or 2 sessions. So they get to learn a lot using activities, using like their peer learning, because they're doing it in groups, they learn a lot. They're doing it like they're learning from each other. In IGCSE, it is more of them exploring with their peers. We are just there to monitor them, give them hints whenever they require it, whenever they need it. If they have a doubt, they just approach us, ma'am, can you help us with this? That we go and we just give a hint. We just don't give away the answer immediately. It's more of we asking them questions, like open-ended questions, for them to come up with more ideas. So while they are knowing about, like while they're learning different topics, that is when they are like asking questions. And one more thing is, it's more of they having freedom to ask as many questions as possible, because this is how we learn. We celebrate mistakes, because if they don't have the freedom to approach any teacher for, be it a silly mistake. They have the freedom to approach us, they have the freedom to ask us. That is the comfort we have to give to the students, and we have given that, we can say. So if they don't explain us, or if they don't approach us even for silly mistakes, it's more of like the topic is over there. They will not be able to learn more after that. Because here, if they do as many mistakes and they correct it themselves, here only the competitive exams or the board exams they'll be able to clear well. This is one thing. So it's more of hands-on experiences, it's more of a group activities, pure learning. Then flipped classrooms we will do. All of these, there are different strategies to teach. We are almost implementing all the strategies we have been learning from the professional developments. It's been a success, and it's like even students are engaged and even students are enjoying it. They're also happy coming to school, doing activities, playing in a playway method. They're learning and they're going out like very happy faces.
So following all this process in place and having it in a well structured way, how do you also make sure that you're tracking the progress of students? What kind of strategies do you actually use to track the progress so that you can also convey to the parents how's the child coping up?
So there are two ways of assessment we do. One is formative assessment, one is summative assessment. So what is formative assessment? It's like FA1. We have the process through the year happens this way. There is one FA1, there is one term 1, there is one FA2, and then term 2. But assessment happens continuously through the year every day. How does that happen? Now, if a child is writing FA1, that's after a span of like they join the school approximately around June 1st they join. So June to July we have regular classes, but in these regular classes every day they are assessed for their activities, being like they are doing the activities whatever they're doing. So after June, July, in the month of August, they will have their FA1. That means whatever they've studied, learned in that first 2 months, they'll be writing a written paper. If they write a written paper for 20 mark, the marks we project would be for 50 mark. So where is this score going? The remaining 30 mark coming from is the 30 mark is our educators, our facilitators, everyday assessment of the child through the class. Whenever we are doing an activity, how are we assessing them? We are checking whether the student or the child is participating in the activity actively. Are they giving their inputs? If we give any work, are they completing the work on time? If are they helping others, the peers, are they helping? Are they completing the work? Is their work legible? Is their research worth it? Are they doing the research what we have assigned for? So all these comes into consideration when we are doing the assessment. So if you observe, that has more weightage, because we asking them to do a work and them doing and their own creativity in the group activities. Now there are few students who are very good in writing but not so good in their everyday activities what we do. On the vice versa, we have few more students who are great in doing activities. When I'm asking them, when I'm giving them tests, we give exit slips also. All these are assessed. When we give exit slips, they're solving very good. But when it comes to the paper, due to that exam fear, they're not able to perform really well. But does that mean the child is not good in this academics? No, definitely no. But because we have seen the child progress through the year very well, only during that exam phase, we can't judge by those marks, right? This is one beautiful concept I like about Cambridge is how they are doing the assessment. It's so beautifully like balanced for every child here, that we have to assess them every day for their everyday learning. We are assessing them for their everyday learning rather than their 1 hour sitting and writing paper. It's not like that. So it's when we are giving this formative assessment every day what they are learning, we are assessing them. That is also a mark. Now they should have that exam fear also. For that reason we have to assess whatever they've learned. For that reason we have given a 20 mark paper also. This happens in your FA. Now after this FA we have a term 1. That means it's for like a half yearly, you can say midterm. Like then we have an FA2 and then term 2. So this is the assessment pattern. And we have after every FAs or unit test we have a PTM where we will have a meeting with the parents. We keep meeting them after FAs and terms, and they will get their report cards. The report card is also beautifully done, where it's not only the subject score we are displaying, it is also the skills of the subject. If suppose if I'm talking about my math subject, It is more of with the score and displaying the students' computation skills. I'm displaying students' accuracy, estimation, graphical skills. Everything we are assessing. We are displaying grades for that also. Like that, every subject has a skill we are displaying. Other than that, we are giving as a class teacher also. We are giving skills like how is the presentation of the student in the class? How is the student helping the other students in the class? How is the student managing the class when while being a monitor or something? So all these, like a class teacher also we are assessing them, like a subject teacher also we are assessing them in accurately, we are assessing them in subject skills also. So this is how the assessment happens.
That's very good to know, ma'am. So, can you also talk about the infrastructure and facilities beyond academics? What is that the school offers for the students?
So we are currently put up in Vikramashila campus, which is in Avlahalli. So post lunch, we have scheduled for physical activities, all the skill based learning. 12 o'clock is the lunch time. So until 12 o'clock, we will have proper academics with having PE periods, yoga periods, music, all these happen till 12. And then after that, post lunch, we have mostly based on the grades. So we will have physical activities, sports activities, which could be skating, badminton, basketball, swimming, taekwondo or so. So all of these will happen post lunch, and then they'll have their snack and they'll leave for the day. It is a period of 2 sessions. The caps have every week they get to learn at least 2 activities. We have something called Dasha Prabodha, where we follow that. The thing is here, the child needs to learn at least 10 skills by the time they finish their 10th grade. It's in at least 10 skills. They should be like, properly skilled with it. So we have all these activities. It's not only during the school hours, after school hours also, if they want to play and they want to learn more, they can.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining and sharing your great insights about the school
Thank you
story.
so much.
Yeah.